The policeman suddenly stopped traffic on a busy highway. The reason left the whole world in surprise. Suddenly, by stopping traffic on a busy highway, this policeman went on a rescue mission. Commuters were frustrated at first, but once they discovered the reason, they were left surprised, along with the entire nation. It all left them emotional. Joseph Palio was on a routine solo patrol heading down Interstate 275 in western Florida when an animal caught his eye. When the warning lights on the car started to blink, Joseph realized something was wrong. But at that moment, he noticed a small figure on the road in front of him. It had a puppy-like appearance and light golden brown fur throughout, with a black coat that surrounded its eyes like a mask. When Joseph took the animal to the vet, he questioned them about what was wrong and what the chances of survival were. However, then he took him home. His life changed forever. Joseph touched the dog, but it wasn't moving. Feeling for a heartbeat, he rubbed his hand over its neck and chest frantically. Even though he was thrilled to see a weak pulse, things didn't seem promising. By now, a few drivers had gathered on the side of the highway, including the first and second drivers he had blocked off. But with only one police car, which he knew from experience made the situation unsafe, Joseph yelled at the drivers to get back in their cars. Joseph called the incident into the station while kneeling down with his back to the traffic and covering some of the dog. When he got a mixed response, this was an unusual situation, and HQ was not totally prepared for it. They made contact with the local animal hospital, but it was going to be up to Joseph to get him there. That's when it hit him. His childhood dog had been hit by a car too. That's where the déjà vu came from. He was currently experiencing horrors, his chest filled with waves of emotion. He usually maintained his sanity and calm. Joseph was frustrated when he realized he was attached to this tiny animal. He questioned the vets about what was wrong and what the chances of survival were. Sadly, the early signs were not promising. Although the dog wasn't responding, there might have been head injuries based on the officer's description. Although there were no obvious injuries, the most serious wounds were frequently found inside the head. Veteran Simon Lawson was all too aware of this. But first, he drew a blood sample, instructing his helper to check the levels of urea, nitrogen, and glucose. This would reveal where the hemorrhage was present, which constituted the highest risk in auto accidents. And a quick X-ray determined that miraculously, the dog hadn't suffered any broken bones in the accident. Simon administered some antibiotics and a mild pain reliever to relieve any pain the dog might be going through. The dog's head perked up, conscious for the first time since the accident, just as the blood test results were finished. Simon read the outcomes, his eyes widening in shock. Nothing was wrong with it. Simon delivered the good news to Joseph as he entered the lobby with a smile spreading across his face. But that excitement didn't last. Simon also explained that the dog wasn't microchipped and that it was going to be difficult to locate its owner if there was one. Joseph had a thought. On social media, his police department shared pictures of the rescue that were shot from his dashboard, and they quickly went viral, receiving thousands of likes and shares. Even the neighborhood TV station covered the story. Officer Palio was thanked by people from all over the world for saving the dog. It became all anyone would talk about. Back at the station, he wasn't interested in the praise, though he never had been. Joseph realized that it was only right to take this animal into himself at that very moment. He carried Lucky home in the passenger seat of his police car after obtaining the veterinarian's approval in the same manner that he had rescued him. This dog sure was lucky to have survived the car collision, but it was even luckier that it was Joseph who found him.